Greetings, everyone. This is Vince Gilligan, creator of Breaking Bad.
Hi, I'm Moira Walley-Beckett, one of the writer-producers.
Hi, I'm Kelley Dixon. I edited this episode.
Oh, I suppose I should have said I wrote this episode. Right.
So you're going to jump all over me like
I'm
that.
sorry.
Who do we have? Who do we have in Albuquerque?
You got Michelle MacLaren, one of the executive producers and director of the episode.
And Laura Fraser, I play Lydia Rodarte-Quayle.
W. Gilpin, construction coordinator.
And Jennifer Bryan, costume designer.
Can I start out? I just want to say, I know we missed it, but I just want to make sure that we know that that fly, when Walt sees that fly, was totally constructed by Bill Pulaski, our visual effects people, right?
Yes.
Like that fly really is not real.
Isn't that something? As a fly was created in a computer. Wait a minute. So, Michelle, did you direct this one?
I did.
Yes. I'm sorry. I am brain dead here. And you did a hell of a job. And Moira Lou, as I call her, did a hell of a job writing this one.
Thanks, Vincente.
That fly there on the day, of course, was a fake fly. And then Bryan moved his eyes accordingly. And then Bill put him in post.
So even this out of focus bit where you see the fly moving in the foreground is actually digitally created. It's not. It's a visual effect. Wonderfully done.
Yes, correct. But we had to predetermine where Bryan's eye line was going to be.
As is Jesse Plemons. He was not actually in this scene with Bryan.
Yeah. He's digital too.
That's what they told me anyway. Oh, maybe I was wrong.
And there was no set there either. That's digital.
It's all just a giant green screen.
Yeah.
That's how it'll be someday. You laugh.
And this is Vamonos, which I'm sure we've talked about in other commentaries, but you guys built in an old warehouse.
An old garage, right? A mechanic's garage. Is that where it is?
It was an old closed down mechanics garage. It was for lease, and then we completely painted, actually built a set inside, put up the razor wire completely to the outside, built a fence so you could not see one of the adjacent roads there, Gibson, and then the big billboard out front. So
Nice. Nicely done. And this is the real garage area inside the building. Is that correct?
That is not the real Mike.
Yes.
Yeah, people think that's Mike. It's not. Well, it is
But
Mike,
that's
but it's
good that
not
they
Mike.
Well, they're
think
supposed
that's
to,
Mike.
story-wise, it's Mike.
It's not the actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Jonathan.
No,
It's-
we didn't want to
it's a
stuff
standard.
Jonathan in the trunk.
No. Let's be correct here for posterity. Jonathan did not want to stuff Jonathan in the trunk.
I was trying to dodge that bullet, Vince.
I took it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. But and then in that close-up, looking past Dad Foe Jonathan, his neck was moving because you could see the pulse in his neck, and that had to be digitally frozen. Is that correct? That was
Yeah, you could see his
you could see his carotid artery,
yeah.
Pulse.
his
Yeah.
pulse. Yeah, that's interesting. Jesse Plemons did a great job, and of course these two guys. Always money in the bank watching these two guys together. I want to hear Laura and Jennifer talking more because this is going to be like accent central on the audio commentary today. Because Laura's from Scotland and Jennifer's from you're from Jamaica. Is that correct?
Yes, I am, Vince, yes.
I love it.
Yeah. And believe it or not, you wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I actually have some Scottish roots. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My great grandfather came to Jamaica. And that's all she wrote.
Nice.
You can do the math. Figure out what happened.
Well, both you ladies have lovely accents. I love hearing both of them.
Thank you.
I love this moment.
Sort of a Godfather moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's goodbye forever.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the kiss off.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Door
it's
closing
heartbreaking.
on
It's
that
the
partnership.
Diane Keaton moment at the end of The Godfather.
Yeah, when the doors closed on when he closed the close. Yeah, you're right. It is that.
Not that we're influenced by The Godfather.
Oh, no, not at
Ever.
all. Ever,
Never
no.
heard of it.
What?
What?
who was in it?
Yeah, right. So is he really naked there, Michelle? What's going on?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, he's wearing a little beige
Thong.
They're like
thong.
beige.
Yeah, no.
They're horrible. They may as well be tidy whities. They're horrible. They're just beige.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make those up. We have a nickname for them in costumes. We call them jock socks.
Jock socks.
Jock with a J? Not with a C?
No.
Okay. All right. Just checking. Now this is a real jail. Is that
Oh yeah.
correct?
This is the real jail. Although this is a set that W guys built in the jail because, for scheduling reasons, we needed to do all the killings and this prison meeting in the same place, and also we wanted to match the door and stuff. But this was a previously established set in another episode.
That's right.
This particular
Love
room,
this shot,
meeting
Michelle. By the way, absolutely love this shot.
It was very nice of Albuquerque to empty out their jail and let us shoot in it for a day.
Well,
all the inmates
Moira and
promised
I
to.
could.
They left us the cockroaches.
Exactly. When we first scouted this place, this was a shut down jail, and they had shut down all the air, all water, everything was so the stagnant smell in there was gaggable. It was unbelievable.
yeah, the
and
smell of
this
death.
is maximum security.
The smell of
Yeah,
death and feet. It was just not good.
yeah.
And other things.
Yeah, I'll bet.
No, it was absolutely appalling and scary and awful.
There's June and Fred.
Oh yeah,
Who are actually the owners.
June and Fred just went
yeah,
by.
the owners of the Shider House.
I think we see them again.
And this is one of my favorite restaurants in Albuquerque, the Grove Restaurant. I love this
You were
place.
so excited when we chose this location.
They make excellent bacon. They really do. They have excellent bacon. Yes, they do. Excellent breakfast, excellent bacon.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yes. They have great pancakes there.
The
Well, you're not-
beautiful Laura Fraser.
Yeah, no, beautiful.
I just remember being so hot that day. It was just
It
unbearable.
was so
the
hot.
sun
And
was beating
I think
in.
you only
Yeah.
had like 8 pages of dialogue, or it wasn't a big day or anything.
It wasn't much.
Can you guys tell us like how long it took to do this whole scene? Because this scene, I think, cut together, I think is probably close to 9 minutes long or
Yeah,
something.
you're right.
And so I'm just
It was a
curious
day.
about the day, just so people out there know how long. I mean, these people are just sitting at a table, but it does take a long time to shoot all this.
Well, Kelley, it's a good question. Actually, it wasn't a full day because we also had to shoot the montage pieces this day. And we had exterior montage pieces, we had interior montage pieces, and we had this scene. But it was a better part of a day to do this. I don't know. I can't remember if we could actually get through the entire scene on one mega film. If we sometimes could and sometimes couldn't. It would
Yeah.
sometimes roll over.
Wow.
Yep.
And so we'd have to do it in pieces.
And I remember, Laura, didn't we have ice packs for you because it was so hot?
And Bryan, you're right.
And Bryan put him.
It was unspeakably hot, yeah. And then, Bryan was very kind and let me go first in the morning when it didn't get too bad. So I was melting, but just watching him. So
And it, just to clarify, because I love this restaurant, is we have to turn the air off, the air conditioning off when we're shooting because of sound.
Right.
So normally this is a very comfortably climate-controlled restaurant.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And
Jennifer, talk about the wardrobe here, the choice for Laura here.
Oh, yes, because, I really wanted to create that separation where at first glance she looks like someone that's just so above and out of this world that she is in. And so by first appearances, just sharp, very monochromatic, sort of giving a kind of a Euro corporate aspect to her, and very polished, and the way she, just was very. It's not a wardrobe, it's not a costume thing, but it's something that I noted in the script, and oftentimes I obviously have to relate to what they're doing. The way she was so particular about her tea and putting her glasses down, and just very precise. And I try to put that in her wardrobe, in her clothing. If you notice. Her jacket's very sharply tailored. Just a very, very polished look, I would say. I did for Lydia.
With some feminine touches, right?
Yes.
Like the little frill,
Like the
on
little
skirt.
pleats,
The
with
flirty
the
skirt.
back, the flirty skirt.
Yeah.
So, it's like hard edge, soft edge melding together.
wonderful.
And I remember that there was lots of talking about boobage that day, about cleavage.
Yes,
Might
we did.
have been.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's a good thing, and then sometimes it's the bane of my existence.
It's
the
always a good
cleavage.
thing.
I don't see a problem with that.
And Laura, how does it affect you when you're playing the character with the clothes that you're wearing?
I suppose I just. I don't know. I suppose I don't really think about it because I don't see when I'm in the scene. I'm not thinking about how it's looking on the outside. I just how I feel and how I sit in those skirts is slightly different. So it kind of helps with the uptightness because it's tight and it holds you in a certain way. You have to sit up straight. So yeah, it's kind of helpful.
And then sometimes when Laura comes in for fitting, I may have a little bit more advanced information of what's going on, and I'll just say to her, well, trust me, you're gonna want to wear a skirt or you're gonna want to wear pants, and she kind of
on
right?
the lap. Oh,
give
no,
you
we
tips.
can't talk about that.
Yeah.
On the lap.
Good job stopping yourself. That was good. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. We have our own little rehearsals and wardrobe fittings with her.
And we talk a lot, Jennifer, do we not? We talk a lot about color as well, colors of everyone's clothes, and we're always thinking about that too.
Yes. I mean, I just think in Breaking Bad across the board, it's paradigm. You know, that color is a character in my world.
Yes.
Actually, and I'm always playing it across the other. You have to be conscious of what the other actors are wearing, background people. It's like doing a painting. You know, it's
That's true.
you have to think it out. You can't just do something willy-nilly.
And also,
And
Vince.
Jennifer is colorblind. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing how she does everything she does.
It's all in the touch and the feel.
But Vince, you've always been very, very specific about helping tell the story of where each character's head is at in the journey of each episode and the series by their color palette and how that's transitioned over time, you know, from Walt's beige through to now black and full Heisenberg mode.
No,
Yeah. I've sort of grown. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Vince.
I was going to make some dumb joke. Go ahead. You're going to say something
No,
of
I was just
substance.
gonna.
Say something of
I was just gonna
substance,
say.
damn it.
Speaking of color, if you notice Laura's red nail polish,
Yes.
that was specifically chosen and matched on Skylar's nails for a transition shot that is going to be coming up. So we had to pick a color that was appropriate for both women.
Yes.
Good point.
And some of their coming up too. You'll see there's some wardrobe for transition that is matched between the two ladies as well.
Right. We did that. So it blends, and it's coming up. You'll see it. It works.
Well done. I love that last shot
There was
too.
even set
I love
colors that were blended.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
Even some of the sets were blended from Mark Freeborn to
Yep.
do
Yeah.
the transitions.
Not-
from
Yep.
one
You're
set to
absolutely
another.
right.
That was an epic undertaking.
Epic.
It wasn't it?
You're talking
Yeah.
about the montage,
montage.
coming up. Yes, probably good to talk
Yes.
about it a little in advance because it'll go by so quick you won't have time to talk through
Although
it.
I think there's one that's going to come before that.
That's right. You're right.
So there's two montages in this
episode. We almost killed the crew.
I know. And Stu Lyons.
Montage is a dirty word now.
I know, Stu Lyons, our UPM always says montage is French for over budget. So.
I had my all-time career high montage in this one, so for construction, but just recently broke it. Again.
This is a set. This is a wonderful set that W built and
Yeah,
Mark
on
Freeborn
our
designed.
stage, and we're going to meet some new fabulous actors that we got to hire.
And Tara Day, our makeup artist,
Oh my God.
designed a lot of these tattoos on these guys, and of course a lot of them are recognizable. But that really helped define the character here. And that painting, Vince,
Yeah.
is from the pilot.
No, not the pilot.
Nope.
But episode.
Oh, sorry, not the pilot.
Number
Episode 5, wasn't it?
203. It was.
Or 2 or 3.
In the
sorry.
hospital.
In the
It was
hospital room.
from,
Sorry, my bad.
Bit by a dead bee.
Yeah, written by Peter Gould. But nonetheless, that was a long damn time ago. And did they have to recreate it? I think they might have lost the original prop. I can't remember. Is that, do you
No,
remember?
I think they found it.
Oh, they
actually.
found it, okay.
Didn't they, W?
You know, I honestly couldn't answer that one.
But I
Couldn't-
think,
yeah,
I mean, I was there, but
I think we found it. I think there was a little bit of fear, but we found it.
I remember when Michelle first joined us in second season, so
yeah. And different prop master back in second season, too. So I love these actors, by the way. Talk about these actors a little more, Lou.
Michael Bowen right there, and Kevin Rankin.
Right there.
They're phenomenal, and that's Patrick Sane with the. Those are actually his arm tattoos. Those strange sleeves, but yeah, these guys just tore it up. These guys are absolutely the real deal, and fortunately not as terrifying in life as they are on screen.
It helps to know the swastikas are not usually on their bodies.
Yes, they was kind of funny because they had to fly out, the day after we shot this, and the tattoos don't come off right away.
Oh, Jesus.
So they had to clear airport security covered in swastikas, and
God. That's
pretty
dedication.
funny. Yeah.
Jesus. You gotta go hang out there's a dinner at the Anti-Defamation Society that night. Gotta go hang out with your swastikas on.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Giant warehouse someplace.
You notice that great black leather coat that you'll probably see it in longer shots that Michael Bowen's wearing. When he came in, when I first met him and he came in for his fitting, he was wearing one of his own. And so this is a case of where an actor will come in with something and my brain will just go, yes. And obviously we needed multiples, but it was definitely the inspiration for his signature piece. And so I went out and we hunted and we found some black leather coats very similar to his. He'd had his like for 30 years. So it was just sort of like molded on him like a uniform. And so we went out and we found 3 that were good facsimiles, and we beat the hell out of them and thrashed them, officially known as aging and distressing, and really got the jacket to look very much like the one that he owns.
Love this shot. Love this shot. Love this lighting. Michael Slovis knocked this out of the park.
And this is a set too. I mean, I probably said that before, but this is, you just feel like you're in a real place. Amazing job building all this stuff.
Oh, and the crew.
Well, yeah, you didn't just do it all by yourself.
Yeah, those guys too. Had a little help.
You did a wonderful job. Everybody did. But this
the first montage.
Wow.
This is the real jail. They're the closed down one now. MDC, Metro Detention Center.
Accompanied by Vince's perverse music choice of Nat King Cole.
I like this music choice.
I
Thank you.
love it.
I was riding to work, and luckily my car has that satellite radio in it, and I was listening to the 40s on 4 channel, which I love. And Nat King Cole, this song came on driving to work one day, and I just had the thought, what if we use this in this montage?
This was an incredible undertaking. My hat is still off. Michelle, your organizational capacities astonish me. We had such limited time to create 3 different jails all within the one actual jail and plan out all these shots, all these stunt guys. Michelle, you want to talk a little bit about this craziness?
Well, I think you kind of covered it in that it was one jail, and we had to, do it as 3 different jails in one day, except for the fire part. So it had to be all pre-planned, and obviously it always is pre-planned, but the art department did an amazing job, and we picked different rooms and we painted them different colors, and wardrobe did an amazing job with picking the different uniforms. And
I'm amazed
we had to
Jennifer's
plan
still
out
talking
which,
to me.
we had to
Moira,
plan out which killings were happening in which jail, and it was a challenge. We did all of this in a day except for just the burn part here.
Yeah.
This part was all done here on the same day. But this coming up, this part here is a stunt man. Obviously, this is Al Godo, our stunt coordinator, who
on our stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
on our stage, who actually is quite a fire burn expert, and he brought a team in from Los Angeles to oversee it for safety.
Wow.
And but everything else was shot in that one day in the jail set.
Jesus.
Unbelievable day.
The shower scene was actually shot at Vominos, the tile shower with the
You're right.
body.
Yeah,
You're right. The one
we
shot.
actually-
Yes,
So
you're
that-
right. Yeah,
Yep.
the one shot was
so
done
that was
in
actually a little
Vamonos.
small mini set that we had back in the back
You're
room.
absolutely right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at Vominos Pest Control.
Jeez,
you're
I didn't
right.
know that. And beautifully edited by Kelley. Beautifully put together.
Kelley did an amazing job with
yeah.
this, and Kelley, you just
that's why she's
took it to a whole
nominated
nother
for
level,
an
especially
Award.
with the especially with the meth montage.
And it wasn't very warm, that jail during the time, very warm, hot.
Oh,
And until we actually, like when we first started prepping, there was no ventilation. And we created ventilation before the company got there to film. And then unlike now to where it's, 17 degrees outside and snowing, and it's supposed to be the middle of summer. So
yeah, it was really challenging being in that location.
Is it snowing today in Albuquerque?
just only occasionally.
Oh Lord.
It snowed in Burbank yesterday. It hailed.
So this is a real house. This is the Shider House, and it's owned by Fred and June, who Michelle pointed out in the earlier restaurant scene. Were extras in that scene, and they're wonderful, wonderful folks. And we've been shooting in this house of theirs for many seasons now, and they're such good folks, and we're lucky to have them as part of the Breaking Bad family.
Yeah, sure, thanks.
I love how just his arm comes in there. That was nice. That was good.
What brand of liquor is that?
That's
Vince?
Knob Creek. There is no bad brand of liquor, by the way. They're all wonderful, especially the brown stuff. Either Scotch or from Laura's wonderful homeland. You got the Scotch, and then you got the bourbon. You got the rye. Good stuff.
And you got rum from Jamaica.
That's
Don't
true.
forget the rum.
You got the especially the dark rum. I like. Yeah,
Yes.
good stuff.
Vince, you want to talk about the story about Hank here, Hank's tree story, and how that came about?
Well, you did a hell of a job writing the scene. The idea of the job did come from, and you wrote it. You wrote the hell out of it. But the idea of the job did come from. I knew a young man, my brother Patrick, his a good friend named Ricky Skinner, who's a sweet guy, who passed away from cancer at a very young age in his 20s. But he had this job that always interested me. This is 20-some years ago, where he worked out in the woods by himself all day and went around tagging trees for a lumber company. I just remember thinking of that when we were in the writer's room coming up with this. And it seemed like an interesting job that Hank could hearken back to when he was in college.
Yeah. Better, easier times, something that felt like a drag, and really, maybe in retrospect, wasn't so bad.
Spray can. Marking trees.
Yeah, crews would come in later and find the trees I tagged and cut them down. First you go in and you mark locations for skid trails and landings. Then you choose specific trees all within a selected grid. Every day I'd go back, hiking, pick up.
What was, as far as the writing, what was the impetus of getting the two of these guys together at this point? I mean, it's like the two guys that are like opposing each other across the table. I'm just curious. I don't mean to.
I think to me, the whole point of the scene is coming up here where he tells this story. He tells this wonderful, heartfelt story that you came up with about, tagging trees, getting mosquito bites, whatever. All of that's better than dealing with monsters. And then this wonderful non sequitur that comes up. This is his brother-in-law. This monster here is also a brother-in-law who loves the man in front of him. He has nothing against Hank. He loves the guy. He feels for him, and yet he is the author of all of Hank's misery here in this scene. And the beautiful non sequitur of, what's the non sequitur? What does he say?
I used to love camping.
I used to love camping.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
Because I mean, Hank is still reeling from these jail killings that went down.
Look at that cut.
Look at
that cut. Isn't that the best damn cut?
That's so cool. This was inspired by The Graduate.
The amazing Mike
Yeah.
Nichols did an amazing, wonderful montage in The Graduate, and yes, indeed, this is inspired by that. And wonderful job on all departments here, starting with the damn directing and the editing. Wonderful job. But like
Indeed.
W was saying, so that was that cut. So W, you guys had to think ahead, paint that wall in the Shider House a certain color to match, or vice versa, match the color so that cut works.
We actually, so I had to figure out what all the cuts and transitions were going to be ahead of time so these guys could match with the sets and the wardrobe and the props and everything. So that set was a set on stage of that house that he was in, which was, of course, one of their meth cooking locations that matched the wall and the couch backing to the Shider House.
Wow. God, what a lot of
And there
work.
was actually that set
It was
had two
incredible
sets
work.
in it because there's another cut to another location and it was still within the same set.
Right, so we had one, so we used the same set, the same room. Looking one direction was one location, and looking the other direction, the opposite wall was another location.
Jesus. This thing is so well edited, so well directed, so well conceived. This is I
Kelley
think
just did an amazing job here.
this is the granddaddy of all montages, I think, on Breaking Bad. This one here.
And we were wanting to use this song for a long time.
Long time, yeah. This Tommy James and the Shondells. This is this is a song we wanted to get in there for quite a while. I love this cut coming up here. I love all the cuts in here, are just so well conceived, and all the plane stuff is obviously we didn't shoot any of that. That's stock footage that you purchase, but wonderfully edited in and found and edited in by Kelley.
Well, and Moira and I spent a lot of time in Pratt planning out each. This was all
Each transition.
really planned out ahead of time.
I like how that shot's flipped upside. I like how this one's flipped too. And just right on the beat,
That's
the tires
great
touching
Kelley
down.
Dixon.
Yeah, we're beautifully cut. I love this shot. That's great. We stole that from. Did we not? Was that from another scene? Or was that? I can't remember.
Here's some of these transitions
This
we were
cut's
talking
great. I
about
love that cut.
earlier with the wardrobe
Yeah.
and the nails. and
Yes.
So we had to, I asked Jennifer if she would, get two shirts that match, but obviously it's slightly different style because it's going on just two different women. In order to, and the props pick the cup and the nail polish and everything.
But now that piece of film right there is stolen from another episode. Isn't that right? I think it was
Yes, yep.
just because wanted to get a little more of him looking fatigued and unhappy. There's a beautiful shot coming up here created by Bill Pulowski of this composite of a piece of aerial stock footage combined with these the way he animated in these tents. Just wonderfully done.
I like how all the different stripes are going too, because they're not real, but like that's really how they do those tents where they put and he made the stripes different.
Yeah, wonderfully. Everyone, hats off to everyone. Wonderful montage. Talk about the little baby here.
All started with Moira's brilliant script. This was a nightmare. This scene was an absolute nightmare. This
baby
poor
would
little
not
baby.
stop crying.
Yeah, but you can't tell
it's
it all, right?
So we could never connect. That's the real mother. We could never connect the baby and Skylar. She wouldn't stop crying. She wouldn't go away from her mom. So finally, Anna took her wardrobe off and gave it to the mom. And so this is all pieced together between the real mom, Anna, the baby, and a doll.
and brilliantly pieced together, I must say, though.
Yes.
Thanks to you, Kelley.
No, that shot where the baby is being put in the crib. I mean, that baby's like crying. I mean, the
can't
baby's
tell.
totally crying.
Wow. You take the sound out, and then if you watch it again, if you roll back and watch it, you'll never see Anna's face with the baby, correct?
No,
No.
you won't.
No.
It's the mom's body.
Except unless it's a doll, yeah, it's the mom's body. And thankfully, the mom, we could, I think she actually wore her own boots.
Yes, yeah.
And she had very similar shoes on to Anna, just by coincidence.
Yeah, it was a lucky stroke.
Luckily,
it
they
just-
had
it worked
similar
out well.
body types, yeah. This is a good scene.
We've been thinking, Hank and I,
Between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
maybe time to.
Skylar that kind of lives between a rock and a hard place. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the few times that you actually make a reference to time as far as time gone by. I think at some point in this, they say that there's it's been 3 months.
Yeah,
or something.
purposefully. And that was, we needed a passage of time, which we were showing in the Meth Kingdom Empire building montage. And, we wanted to show at about 3 months had gone by, and that Walt's empire had exceeded his wildest expectations, and yet
He's still not happy.
Yeah, he's still empty inside.
But yeah, you guys usually hardly ever make reference to amount of time.
We hardly
and
ever jump.
And this, at one point, I think Maurice does say, it's been like 3 months or something.
Yeah, because we're usually so intensely.
Is that like something that you
chronological.
guys specifically said you wanted to do in the writer's room then?
Yeah.
In this case, like Moira was saying, we typically stay away from. We've never nailed down. A few little tiny mistakes might have gotten through here and there over the years, but we purposefully have never said what year this is, for instance, where it's set. Obviously, in real life terms, we started shooting in early 2007, and now here it is 2013, and we're still plugging away. But in story terms, it looks like maybe only about 2 years passes for the entirety of the series. So we've been kind of scrupulous about, making time pass slowly, and then not saying, what year things are specifically. But yeah, this was indeed a situation, as Moira said, where we kind of wanted to have what for us was a very rare and large jump in time.
This is so beautiful, Michelle.
Now this is looking into the real stage set, right? And now we're outside in the real.
It's beautiful because of Michael Slovis. The lighting is so gorgeous. But yes, we look inside. We have a matched patio area on stage, so we were able to look from the outside in. But then we shot, of course, this on location because it's a real pool.
Yeah.
And the real White House.
Because I think I just realized this year that there was actually a stage patio. I didn't realize that the patio there is actually a stage for the patio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I think this year.
In the original concept, we actually budgeted a swimming pool also and to build the entire set on a platform, and we just never did it at that particular point.
That was the pie in the sky budget.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I was here for this.
You flew in, you'd been up for like 48 hours or something.
Okay, so I know that we've talked about this before, Vince, but can you talk about this giant pile of money and the logistics? You also, Michelle, I remember you telling me about how all this money had to be counted and it has to be returned and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Talk about that.
No,
Michelle.
go ahead, Vince. Just to the money on the top, and it's all fake money. But and there's a box. You guys built a box underneath, or was that special effects?
No, that was actually special effects.
Is it?
Built that
Okay.
one.
So there's a box underneath. It's not solid money all the way through, but this money it's actually quite expensive, and it comes from Los Angeles. And you'd walk for days. You'd walk by rooms in the production office, and you'd see the props guys counting money out to make sure that it was all accounted for.
It's
hilarious.
It's a weird system because each fake dollar bill costs $4.18 to rent. So I question the fact that we keep doing this, but I'm just kidding.
You guys said, I think at one point, didn't you guys say that you had actually trying to figure out how much money this is?
Yeah.
The best guess Mark Hansen had. Mark Hansen's our wonderful prop master. His best guess is somewhere on the order of $80 million. This is what this would be if it were real.
Okay.
It's 20s and 50s.
Wow.
Yeah.
And whose idea was the raid with the silverfish and stuff? Which I love
Vince
that.
Gilligan.
Was that
Yeah.
I think it's very funny.
If you had that much dough, you definitely want to keep the paper eating bugs away from it, I would think.
That's awesome. And what is that, like an air purifier or something in there?
A dehumidifier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I will say that this is one of my very favorite scenes as far as like the staging and it's beautifully done. The color is gorgeous. The way the costume color, the way that the set color is gorgeous. I mean, it's very stark and honest and just absolutely like this is it. This is our life, and this is what you've been working for, and I want my kids back.
Yeah.
It's beautifully done, Michelle.
This was a shout out to a shot in the pilot. And W, you guys built this a little bit of MRI machine here. Did a great job.
We had built one for the pilot, and it had been since gone away. And then when the scene came up, we built it again.
I also want to say,
And do you remember?
No,
Sorry, go ahead.
You're going to say that
I just-
Bryan lip synced, right?
I wanted to say, I wanted to say that earlier. I wanted to give a shout out to our post coordinator Trevor Baker, because he cut that scene back there.
Oh yeah,
The scene in the storage locker. He
did?
didn't
He
know
did.
that.
excellent job.
Yeah, that's great.
I thought Trevor was just a pretty face, and you're telling me he's talented. Too.
He's very talented, and I'm gonna like get a whole bunch out of him just because of this mention.
He's actually producing this day here. He's producing our audio commentary here. So he's a multi-talented guy.
Oh, shit. Hi. Hey.
Jennifer, where'd you find this damn T-shirt? I love this thing.
Retro Jesse,
I
man.
tell you, I'm always in like the skate shops, you know, all over Albuquerque, digging up these obscure designs. And I love the fact it has that foil in it. You know, you see how he just turned and you just got a little bit of that
the shine to it.
bling. It's got a little bling in the shirt. It's,
Yeah. This is
really,
like Siegfried
really
and Roy's
cool.
nightmare shirt or something. I don't know what this thing is. I love it.
Are you still going to Walmart picking out shirts too, Vince, for Aaron?
I did that with our previous costume designer, Kathleen DeToro, who also we're so lucky to have first Kathleen and now Jennifer. Wonderful, immensely talented ladies both. And one time when Kathleen while Kathleen was still on the show, I'd gone to Walmart and bought some Kenny Rogers shirts, and we got them in. We got them in the show.
Wow, cool.
Who doesn't love Kenny Rogers? That's what I say. This is a great scene.
This is one of my favorite scenes. I really enjoyed writing this, like reminiscing former lovers, talking about.
It is like that, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just like they broke up and
They
they're
broke
sort
up,
of seeing each other again, and it's kind of awkward, and there were good times, and
There was no other
I
option.
miss the RV.
It had to be done.
Yeah, they really, and that's what they kind of miss. I love all these little details you came up with of past moments that they're talking about here. It's like former lovers who are, it's this weird kind of,
Exactly.
you might argue the central relationship, platonic though it is in this series, is these two guys, not even Walt and his wife, not even Walt and Hank, whatever. It's these two.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, this used to be a real house, and then you guys made it a set. What, in the third season or something, Vince?
Yeah. When did when did you guys build this actually?
Same one as ours.
No, we built this in the third season.
Yeah.
Because it was getting to the point where we're going to be doing so many bizarre things with inside
Yeah.
the set that the people that own the
perpetual
house would
party.
have said, "I don't think so."
They
So,
get a little nervous.
but we
it
were
was
able to
that
place
party, right?
so many scenes in this set.
Yeah. It's
it made sense to not be on location, to have control of this.
It's so funny
space.
though, because if you didn't know, it's like it just looks exactly like it looked back then when they were flipping the coin. Remember them flipping the coin in
Oh yeah,
the second episode of the whole series?
that's right. Wonderful job. Wonderful job.
Yeah, they did. Well, they designed it off the original set, but of course we can fly walls, we can fly the ceiling, we can have so much flexibility on this set. It's wonderful.
And luckily, Jesse has never wanted to get more furniture, so it's like it's just that futon and the glass table and
He's got the kick-ass stereo, man.
yeah.
That's all that matters.
He's a minimalist.
He has his priorities.
He used to be a drummer, though. Remember, he used to have the
Yep.
drum set and
That's true.
During Twat Hammer days.
Hammer. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, a friend of mine was asking me a couple of weeks ago about how come we never see the kitchen anymore. And I said, yeah, because, and I explained the whole thing about the set and about that house that, they sold and redid and all that kind of stuff. Seems like so long ago.
We had we did have a kitchen set at one point, didn't we? What happened to that actually?
Well, we had the kitchen set, and then when the house got remodeled in real, then we were going to redesign and build a new kitchen set to match the kitchen set out there, which never happened, and it just the other kitchen set went away.
That's right.
To the cornfield.
That's right. Got wished to the cornfield. That's right. And look at that. That's indoors on a soundstage. That little bit of foliage put in by our greensman, and then the wonderful lighting. It looks like you're really looking outdoors, but you're not. You're looking toward a giant wall of the interior of a soundstage.
What about this?
Same.
That's
on
well. We
stage.
had a. If you'll see, we had a picture made on stage, and there's a
translite up there.
Yeah, it's just a cyc out there and some greenery. We're very limited here. There's not much, not many angles you can shoot out here. Just to the right of the frame here, you would find raw wood.
I think it looks really good, though. I had no idea. I didn't even think about it until just now. I love that moment too, where we don't know what's going on, and then we see the bags drop, and we see all the money.
And wonderful music. I have been remiss in a lot of these audio commentators to talk about our wonderful music. First stuff, that little bit of score there, for instance, Dave Porter created, and then the wonderful pre-existing source music that Thomas Golubic finds for us. Just as always, integral part of the show. The
that's
music.
One of my favorite of Porter's sound cues, right there.
That was a great one.
Wonderful. Very poignant.
Very poignant. This is a great scene. I love this bit. So well played. Just very quiet. Nice and quiet.
It's funny, too, with, all the money that they've made, and now Skylar knows about it, and yet their house really hasn't changed at all, like nothing. They've gotten a couple of new cars, but they have not,
they're trying to keep
even
the
bought a
fiction.
new sofa or anything.
Yeah.
They still have that old TV.
Well, it's this weird problem they have. They got all this dough. This bunch of money piled in a you store it place. You can't spend it conspicuously, or otherwise the feds and tax folks, everybody'd be onto you. So it's so kids at home, don't do drugs and don't sell drugs. That's the point.
That's where Skylar's trying to decide whether or not she can
Believe
believe
him,
what he's
yeah.
saying.
Hey, so Laura, when you first got this job, was this the first time you'd ever been to Albuquerque?
It was, yeah. The vast skies are kind of a trip for me coming from Scotland, where everything just feels so low and heavy and grey. It's just kind of a relief to get here. It's like, I can breathe. Yeah.
Although I have been to Scotland, it is beautiful. There's a
Some
beautiful
callback
beautiful
images
country.
to previous episodes.
Oh yeah,
That bug is fake, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it isn't.
I'm just
we
kidding.
had to
No,
wrangle
it's
that beetle.
That baby is fake.
Trying
by
to
the way.
wrangle that
Beetle
trying to
wrangling.
wrangle that beetle was
Baby's
very
run by
challenging.
But it's a real
26
car.
on-screen
Yeah, it's an
monitors.
animatron baby.
This scene, my hat is off to the actors in this because it was written all as overlapping dialogue.
My hat is off to the mixers.
And the mixers and to Kelley. It's all overlapping dialogue, a conversation about nothing. And and you can just see the actors, they're so exceptional at what they do, that they could have these simultaneous conversations and yet keep track of where the other people were in the scene and hit certain points where they all had to come together. It was very like a stage play.
That's true. It's hard to explain, certainly in the limited time we have left, how hard it is to shoot overlapping dialogue, but it is a real pain in the butt. That's safe to say, Kelley, correct?
Yeah, the guys were having their own conversation. The girls were having their own conversation. You also had to balance out when Junior would show up with that baby. They had to come together at this point talking about Schrader Brow. It was really tough. And just to mic all these people separately and not have double words spoken, things like that. It's very, very tough. I never done anything like it before.
Wow. A wonderful job, as always, Michelle, directing this. Just, I think was I here this day? I think I might have been,
You were actually. You were on the set here.
which is rare. I'm not there that often. But
This is the real house, though, right?
that's a real house. Now we're back in the same
This
stage
is not.
set.
This is back on the stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you noticed that Betsy Marie was wearing a yellow blouse. It's one of the most rare times that she was not in purple.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yes, and the bloggers went crazy. They were trying to figure it, if this was some forecasting of what was going to happen, and that the yellow looked like the Tyvek yellow of the,
Oh,
the
wow.
hazmat suit. It was crazy, and I was like, no, it was just a change.
Well, it was
It's a
because
little visual change.
yeah,
Things are I'm looking up.
but there was thought
Things are,
behind it.
yes.
Exactly. 'cause
There
things
was
are
thought
little-
behind it, but it was in the blogging world, it was a brouhaha over why she, why
it.
did she have yellow
I
on?
love it.
Don't.
Now,
GB.
Don't read that.
No.
why did Dean Norris continually have to take a poop every take in real life? This is what I don't understand.
Props actually were total brats, and they put a fake turd in the toilet for his first take. I thought Dean was a pretty good sport about it, really. And this is the first time we've ever done a device like this.
And I will say that, the other
Gone to a
bloggers were
flashback.
talking about like this was all the same footage, and it is not all the same footage. There are different takes here being used from when we originally did this.
Yeah, that's right. That's a great cut. I love that. I love this reaction. Well done.
That's it.
Well done, Michelle, Moira, all the actors, everybody. Well done, Jennifer, W,
Team effort.
Laura, Kelley, everybody.
Thanks.
Wonderful
Thanks
job.
so much, you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for
Bye.
listening. See ya.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.